Yes. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. You know what the mind is saying? Okay, let there be peace for all. At least I will get rid of my anxiety and the stress. But they are not both opposites. That is the message of Eastern wisdom. They are not opposites. That happiness is our essential nature. It cannot be undone. Anxiety, stress, duality are incidental nature. Ask your mind when you will realize this. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Same thing. We don't sit and we don't reflect on it. Peace is our intrinsic, essential nature, cannot be undone. But we think it is undone. Why? I have anxiety, I have duality, I have conflict. So it means I don't have a conviction in the intellect. Oh, let us attend the session today to have some. Again, I will relax and then I will move into stress. Why don't you think that I am in peace? I will move into peace. That is why it is taking time. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. May there be auspiciousness for all. Now, you can reflect on internal calm. Can I reflect on the internal calmness? That is sama. Ability to retain the inner awareness of the inner calmness. I am not saying sama is creating inner calm. An external calm, I am not saying you create it. It is there. And both together helps us to move to the higher level of awareness. That is what is you say, Uparati or Uparama. You can open your eyes. Pay attention, my friends. Pay attention. You have to contemplate and reflect. Regular contemplation and reflection will help you to settle in the calmness. We are talking about Uparama, Uparati, both are, whether you say Uparati or Uparama. Sama helps respond calmly. Mind, internal calmness, not react impulsively because of happiness within. Dhamma allows your words to remain considerate, not defensive, because you express happiness independent of the situation. That is your external calmness, that is Dhamma. And Uparati reminds us that your value isn't shaken by the opinion. Letting you move on with the peace, discover a point where choicelessness is there. I spoke big words. Let us dwell deeper into the Uparati at a higher level. You have to pay attention to understand it. If you don't pay attention, you will say yes, yes, but you will miss it. It's a little higher level. Why? What is bit difference between lower and the higher level? Can you guess? What is the lower and higher level? So in Eastern wisdom or in everything, we have yet to, in the lower level, we have yet to find the ultimate cause. Higher level, I found something. Now, is there another cause and effect relationship? Let us find out. What is the ultimate cause? Ultimate cause is the real self. So let us talk about Uparama. Uparama first. How to understand this Uparama? So we have to bring the default mind and the discerning intellect. So there is a struggle between the default mind and the discerning intellect. We have already discussed about these two. Default mind is seeking the pleasure from the objects, people, event, relationship. So default mind says, for example, just take an example. Default mind says, I am hungry. Basic need, impulsive need, basic need. Hunger, it is impulsive nature of the mind. So impulsive nature of the mind is agitated state of the mind. Am I clear? Any impulsive action is basically inner agitation. We are living in a new normal in the modern age. That is why we say today is the age of anxiety, age of the stress. We have made anxiety our nature. So what I said, I am hungry. Default mind is active. It is impulsive nature of the mind. It is an agitated state of the mind. So it is a default mind. Am I right? Or I am right? So default mind finds the food to eat, and you get a choice of your food, and you say, I get lot of pleasure. Am I right? When you say, yes, I ate the food and I got lot of pleasure. Tell me, default mind received pleasure by eating the food? One question. Or default mind removed the agitated state by eating? Which statement is true? Default mind removed the agitated state, because it is impulsive nature, requirement of food for energy. I ate the food, and agitated state of the mind is removed. No, but I enjoy, eating the food of my choice. I got the pleasure. Pleasure is not in the food. Where did you get the pleasure? For example, if pasta has a property of pleasure, then everyone is going to eat the pasta. So how do you say that, I was very happy, I went to that restaurant, food is very tasty, and I was full of pleasure. Did you get the pleasure, or did you remove the agitated state of the mind? Because the hunger is the basic need. Eating removed the agitation, then where is the joy? It is already present. It is already present within. So why didn't I experience before eating the food? Because of the impulsive nature of the mind, basic need of the food caused the agitated state of the mind, and this agitated state of the default mind covered the calmness which is already present, covered the Uparama already present. Did you get it? You have to pay attention. Discerning intellect. Now, then, what's the problem? We all, I, you, and everyone feels the hunger. So discerning intellect recognize there is a hunger, let me eat the food, and then your mind returns to the discerning intellect, recognizing the happiness is already present inside. It has nothing to do with any food situation, dress, car, anything. Situational happiness is not there. Once you recognize that, you are already in Uparama all the time. You are in the natural state of the calmness all the time. So, does those awakened guys also have the same default mind? Yes, it is required, basic need, impulsiveness, hunger. But awakened return to the discerning intellect. They recognize the joy and happiness is within. So, what happens because of that? They don't get attached to any food, for example. They don't get attached to any situation. They don't get attached to anything outside. But the default mind, when the default mind press you, this food is so tasty, I will come back again. So your default mind has already projected the happiness. Second time you will get. Then there is an attachment. Then there is a binding desire. Then you are greed. The greed takes place. And then default mind takes over my life. And calmness is, joy is gone. If you did not pay attention, we are moving to the higher truth about the calmness. Previously we talked at the lower level. Default mind reacts to hunger. I'm taking a very basic example. It reacts to sensuality, reacts to sexual pleasure, reacts to food, reacts to possession, anything. Just basic thing is hunger. So default mind reacts to hunger. How? Default mind says, I'm hungry. If I don't eat food, I feel discomfort. So that discomfort is agitation. So there is an impulsive action. So default mind seeks food to remove the unpleasant feeling. Hunger is an unpleasant feeling, is it not? So apparent result, default mind claims that I found pleasure in eating. Clear? I'm repeating for the sake of understanding. Agitation versus calmness. Now we have to inquire. What really happened? Eating removed the feeling of discomfort? I ate it. Would you like to eat more? No. Enough. So it means it has removed your discomfort. It has removed your agitation. Are you clear? Revealing the calmness that was already present behind that agitated state of the mind. Because agitated state of the mind is removed by eating the food, so the joy and the calmness was revealed, it manifests. But if discerning intellect is not there, then the default mind will say, I get the joy from this food, I get the joy from this cute and beautiful girl, I get the joy from the six-pack and handsome boy, I get the joy from buying a car, I get the joy from a long list. But we know we don't get it. Are you thinking? Are you just making does it make a sense to you? So in every action, we are searching for situational happiness, relational happiness, eventful happiness. We convert that into an incident. This gives me pleasure. But the pleasure is not there. But I'm chasing it. Chasing means attachment is there. So I don't recognize the calmness at I don't recognize that calmness, which is already present. Default mind labels that calmness in the joy, in the food, in the car, in the partner, in the person, in the home, in the clothes. You can also explain it. You are hungry, the mind becomes focused on the discomfort. Then what happens? The attention shifts from inner calm, inner joy, to the urge or agitation. Are you searching for food, for a joy, for a pleasure? There is no pleasure and a joy in any food, even if it costs $100 a plate. But we think that thinking comes from the default mind. And the default mind has gone to eat the food to remove the hesitation, not to find the pleasure. That joy and the calmness underneath all the fluctuations is already present. It is already present under the hunger, under the pain, beneath the anger and hesitation. That is what is known as the state of Uparama. Discerning intellect brings that awareness. But if you are carried away by the default mind, it will not work. Default mind will cause the attachment, will again, now you are not hungry, but you are attached to a particular food. It causes the restlessness in you because of the greed. That we are not able to recognize it. Without this state of calmness and joy, without Uparama, we cannot awaken to our real self. That is why we have the six treasures. Six treasures. So default mind puts us into a trap. It is a never-ending cycle. I like car, I marry one, I divorce, then I remarry, or I like one food in one restaurant, second restaurant, that is also equal to divorce. I like this cloth and I don't like this cloth. I like this house, and you see, default mind. Default mind has dictated. Discerning intellect is not there. That is why I start searching happiness and a pleasure outside. But basic needs have to be met. Even the awakened, even the Buddha used to eat the food because of the default mind was there. Once the food is eaten, Buddha's mind moved into a discerning intellect. Thank you. Thank God you have given the food to me. I am settled again with it. I am settled again with it. Are you getting it? If it does not make a sense, you can just. So, the calmness, first thing, calmness and joy is the intrinsic nature of the real self. The default mind veils the calmness and searches for it outside. Why it searches for outside? Because I am agitated. Why I am agitated? Because I am hungry. Look at the basic needs. Basic needs. But in that basic needs, I have already projected the happiness. There I go to this restaurant only. This food only. Only coffee, not tea. So I have preferences. Yes, if the preference is available, let me have it. But again, go back to the discerning intellect. Allow the discerning intellect to remain there. What is discerning intellect? A higher level of higher mind. higher level of self-awareness. So default mind believes external sources such as food bring the calmness and happiness. Discerning intellect can see through the veil of hesitation and recognize the calmness. Are you getting it? Discerning intellect can remain aware of the calmness behind the hesitation of hunger. For example, so intellectual understanding alone is not enough to achieve calmness and joy. It must be applied in daily life situations. Then only Uparama can be perfected, because calmness is intrinsic nature of myself. It is always present. So even my discerning intellect, it is always present, but I see the hesitation because of the hunger in the body, in the mind. Oh, let me fill this belly with anything, any food. But I do not experience the calmness and the joy all the time in all the locations. That is the distraction of the mind. That is the wandering mind. That is your default mind. That is why you don't experience that. I'm answering another question if someone has a doubt. So you see the genius of the master, how he moves us from discernment, then a sense of dispassion, then it moves to the sama, the internal calm, then he sees external calm, lower truth, and then he moves little higher, Uparama. I gave you 3 and 4 definitions of the Uparama, and now he says, it is already there. Where are you? Where are you? So first I am projecting. That projection created the I-ness. Ego and the attachment are the root causes for the loss of the peace and the calmness. I'm creating problem to myself. Active inner calmness, the ability to pause and establish inner calm before engaging with the world. So I look myself first in the world, inside me, inner calmness. What is Dhamma? Active external calmness, mindful, considerate thought, speech, and action. Helps one respond calmly from a place of inner happiness. Sama. Allows one's action and the words to be considerate. Source of disturbance, where? Disturbed from within by the ego. Inner calmness is disturbed by the ego, the impulsive mind, the intellectual error, the past impression. And external calmness disturbed from without by external attachment. I'm attached, my mind is running, it has created a projection. And there comes the Uparama. And Uparama says, yes, it is already there. Where are you running? We wanted to move into the fourth treasure, but I said, oh, this seems to be a very good understanding. So are you getting it? Let us discuss if there is any doubt about it. We have done a very important part of the Uparama Christina. You missed it. But yes, I will send you. Yes, Dennis, can you Can you let us discuss?
What we call pleasure is basically removing the agitation of the mind. When the mind has a desire for anything, that desire manifests as a discomfort that agitates the mind. And that agitation acts like a curtain that covers our real nature and doesn't allow us to experience our intrinsic happiness. So when we fulfill the desire, the discomfort is gone, the agitation is gone, and it seems like we received some pleasure from outside, but in fact we just removed the curtain that prevented us to experience the happiness, and the happiness was already there. And if we discern like that, it means that we practice Uparama. And it means that we understand that calmness of the mind is much more valuable than any pleasure outside, because this calmness, which we call samai, Dhamma, both external and internal calmness, allow us to experience real happiness that is always with us.
Look at it. Now, do you believe our masters are not telling a lie about something within us? They never tell a lie. Curtain is removed. Sun is already there behind me. I remove the curtain, I see the sun. But that removal of the curtain, it means that I'm meeting the basic needs. You are working, living casually in the world, no problem, yeah. But when the default mind takes over you, it's a very thick curtain, it's a blackout curtain. And if we have a blackout curtain of many colors, many shades, we always live in discomfort, anxiety, duality, conflict all the time. Whereas that peace and the joy is already there all the time. Yes, David and Jackie.
Thank you. The timeliness of the lesson for me was perfect today. The realization of my default mind is covered by the ego, and therefore decisions are made that the ego thinks are fine, but the reality is I need to remove the ego and reset the default mind.
Yes. If you reset the default mind, move into the discerning intellect, you find the joy, then you say your honey, oh, do you love me? I love you all the time. Otherwise, the default mind says, you don't love me, you hate me. So now is the time. What is the time? Time for greater discomfort, for greater anxiety. But we are missing that joy inside. Jerry.
Thank you, sir. The Uparati is so revealing. I guess it's really revealing to what we possibly try to hide, escape,
Yes.
obsessed with. So it helps to uncover all of that. And when we are willing to see it clearly, then we can actually get rid of the default mind, or just focus more on that discerning mind, and eventually the default mind will go away. It won't be, we won't have that default mind that's actively running our life.
Yes. If the default mind is actively running your life, that is the reason if you find among your friends, they are always in blame, complaint, reaction, anger, hesitation. Always. Whenever you meet, I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of stress. Who doesn't have a stress in the world? You might have heard those expressions. They are not understanding. It is the default mind has taken over. So you rightly said, when the default mind, you just, even after listening to this, the calmness is already there. What I am searching for pleasure, happiness outside in any relationship, object, people, is just to remove that curtain of hesitation and find out. Even if you keep in your head, it will not cause any problem. The life will be very smooth. Brandy, is the life smooth?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Oh,
Sometimes.
what do you mean? Only sometimes. So lot
Well,
of stress, lot of anxiety, lot of duality.
with recognition, I will say that the default mind and the curtain remind me of something someone once said about wearing a shoe that's one size too small just so you can take it off for the relief, right? At the end of the day. And then you put it back on and the shoe's tight, it's uncomfortable all day, and all you want to do is take it off, then you keep wearing the small shoe. And that I was reminded of that today. So why stop putting the small shoe on, and then you don't have to get the relief.
Yes, you are right. That's a good metaphor that explains beautiful. If my size is 10, I wear the 9 number. I always feel a discomfort. I always feel agitated without any reason. Reason is not there. I create a reason. That is the message of this Uparama. I create a reason willfully. Because of ego, as David was saying, because of ego, because of attachment. Otherwise, that peace and the joy is always there. So I want to see the smile on the face of everyone all the time. Yes, do you want to say anything, Christina? Christina T. Then we will come to Raghu. Yes.
This is, just like David said, this, all these lessons come up right when we meet them, it seems, and I feel like I'm experiencing, like, I guess maybe a question is, I'm aware of this knowledge you presented us of the Uparama, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but I still have the anxieties, and I know I'm not attached to it because I know it's not my essential nature, but I still experience it and it still provides discomfort. So I think I'm almost there. So thank you for this. Sorry.
No, we almost there. Almost there means I live with the happiness on one hand and the anxiety on the other hand. Can the happiness and anxiety go together? Can the joy and the distress go together? I am very happy, stressful. No. You have to listen to it again. You have to do the practice. Simply intellectual understanding will not work. When you say I'm almost there, no. You have to do the practice religiously, sincerity, with commitment. Then only it will work. Ashoka, are you sleeping or are you awake? Awake? Okay, very good. Now, you see, in every group session, we have one person who is very important. Where Dennis translates the Ukrainian session, there is another guy, Arman, is very important. So we have one person is always very important in every group. So Ashok, you are most important person. Yes, Christina, you want to share something?
Thank you. Having missed the lesson, I heard Dennis's recap.
Yeah.
And really noticing, I never thought of desire as agitation. And at any moment during the day, right? Like for me, I have a choice of, okay, am I going to push off what is better for me in the long run in this moment or not? And that the desire can be this agitated. I never thought of it in that way.
Beautifully, you revealed one thing for all of us. Any desire that takes the mind outside has an element of hesitation because I have to perform an action to complete it. I see a cute and beautiful girl, so I have to approach her. I have to reach to her. Then I will say, "I love you." You see that there are a lot of pressure in you. So you are already agitated, expressing that I love you. You rightly pointed out. Any desire outside has some form of hesitation or anxiety or duality or a conflict. So when I become aware of it, check. Desire meets my basic needs, go for it and use the discerning intellect to return. After all, we have to eat the food. We have the basic needs. Oh, you have a good red pointed, It's today's Diwali in India. Happy Diwali. Oh, that is why you keep it. So we celebrate Diwali. There are many reasons. One of the reasons that Diwali is also the goddess of the wealth. Whether it is inner wealth or outer wealth, that is the choice. So close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. And just go to that, go to all the stage number 1, the place, position, in posture. Now apply Sama, Dhamma and Uparama here. You see how the meditation mindfulness is done. We are exploring the subtle points of how the meditation helps us to awaken to that real self. You see, step by step. So apply Samadhama Uparama in your place, position, and posture. I will not say explain you just think of it. That will help you to go deeper. I will explain in the following session. Then you are being comfortable. Do you remember? The knowledge you must remember. That is why I said it demands a lot of repetition, regular practice to reach to that state. If you don't do that, it will not happen. So do you remember sensation, comfort, and steadiness? In that state, you check Samadhama Uparama is there or not. It is there. And then being carefree. Did you understand being carefree? Observer in the observed. You notice what's going on in the mind in terms of feeling, thoughts, anxiety. It's not me at all. Okay, it is not me. I'm okay. And there you apply what? You apply Sama, Dhamma, and Sama is already there, internal calm. Dhamma is there. And Uparama. is revealed. That is the point. It means it is always with me. Even before reaching to that state of awakening, I had a clarity. Okay. And so there is a cognitive change, means behavior, attitude, and a conduct. There is a change. What is that change? I'm not rushing for anything. I'm not rushing for food or the clothes or a car or an attachment, situational or relational. But how it comes? It comes due to separation of the six neighbors. Oh, that comes. You can do the practice on your own with the 6 steps, and then we move to the second stage. So again it comes. Can I see that by the long, deep in the hissing breath, we have agitated the breath while we maintain the focus deep inside, while we maintain the focus deep inside the head, to be aware and to know Sama, Dhamma, and Uparama are there. In that reference, we do the breathing, and it becomes a joy of doing it. That is why I told you before also that we don't need any kind of active step. But anyhow, at this time we need it. Look deep inside your forehead in the space and start breathing long, deep in the hissing into your entire rib cage. Deep, long and hissing breath into your rib cage means you become aware of the entire rib cage expands and contracts. It contracts, it expands and contracts. It expands and contracts totally, but you are doing it with the long, deep in the hissing, and you move to the effortlessness of doing it. That is what the joy of doing it. So what is I said I use this word joy of doing it many a times. So this joy of doing means what? Is it sama? Check it. Means I am aware of the internal calm. Yes, the default mind is not listening. So default mind is not listening. So I am just doing the practice of the breathing to calm down for some time, to reveal. Very intricate and little bit complex. On one hand, we say desire hesitates, but here is our desire to do the breathing should drop the hesitation itself. Continue long, deep in the hissing breath. My friends, you check, default mind will say, why you are doing it? You are already calm. Now I'm doing it for you, default mind, to you. You take your own place. You see, it's a continue. Continue deep, long in the hissing breath. Oh, I forget. We have to do the longer practice. Yeah, we will be doing it. Long, deep in the hissing breath. And now leave it, do nothing, just check the flow of the breath. You notice the flow of the breath. That what is this? You feel the presence. You are an observer of the breath. Clear? You are the witness of the breath in the state of place, position, and posture, in the place of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. In that state, you change the rate and the rhythm of the flow of the breath and start breathing deep, silent, slow. Deep, silent, and slow breath. So again, we have to do the nyasa. The moment you start inhaling, the mind moves from the top center of the head down to the tailbone, but at the same time you are singing mentally Om Shanti. And when the breath is returning, mind moves from the tailbone to the top center of the head. Om Shanti. Mentally. You are saying it loudly. So even though your larynx and your mouth and the tongue are speaking, and still we say, yes, I'm chanting. When you do it loudly, your mind is doing it, and still you say you are chanting the same mantra. You are doing it mentally, still you use the same phrase, yes, I'm doing it. Which one is better? Which one is deeper? So that is why we are doing it mentally. Mentally is better. Higher. Not only better, but also the higher. When I'm saying it loudly, you all listen to me. But when I'm doing it mentally, only I am listening to myself. Where is that point? That is a higher level of your awareness. But even, default mind takes over at that moment, then we have yet to become a seeker. I believe you understand that point. When I'm saying it mentally, I'm listening. Am I really listening to it? Or my mind has gone back to other thoughts? It is deep. It is silent and slow breathing. It is deep, silent and slow breathing with Om Shanti. And now leave it, return to the natural flow of the breath, be aware of the natural flow of the breath. We move to the stage number 3. We want to raise our level of self-awareness in a passive state. It's almost a semi-passive state. Why? Because the higher the level of awareness, the nearer we are to the real self. And obviously, Sama, Dhamma and Uparama. You flow the breath. And now with that flow the breath, you recognize the space and you say Om Shanti mentally. By recognizing Sama, Dhamma and Uparama all by dropping Om Shanti on each breath that is going in and that is returning. We are still in the stage number 3. So this is one act where you drop Om Shanti on every breath going in and out. But now you switch on to dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers to check, to confirm Sama, Dhamma and Uparama are all there with you. What it means, discerning intellect, it has a conviction. So, does it mean that I don't have any thought? No, thoughts are there, but too far. But the continuity of Om Shanti, that gives rise to also many peculiar sensations on the fingers, or sometime you may have an experience of bodilessness. Yes, that is also a sense of, but you feel a heavy, very deep energy movements on the segments of the fingers. Should we get attached to them? No. Any attachment And now leave this, move the mind inside the heart to a triangle. Visualize visualize a triangle of any color, move the mind, dropping Om Shanti on each side of the triangle, clockwise and anti-clockwise. So because the screen is clear, no curtain is there. So you have a clear, if I use the word conception in the mind of a triangle, pointing upward, dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle. We'll talk about that, it's a little deeper. Conceive. We conceive the triangle. Why? To get rid of the default mind completely. So when you find sync is there with the clockwise and anti-clockwise, that is the moment we transition to the stage 4. How? Push the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing. Mind seems to stop. Seems to tell you drop Shanti, and you have jumped into the stage number 4. What you have to do? Nothing. Self-absorption. It is the state of the self-absorption where new experiences, vision, colors, images will come and go. Or we will live into the heightened state of awareness, self-absorption and waiting, nothing to do. Your mind may say, yes, but I'm aware. Yes, I'm aware is not doing anything. Self-awareness is not doing anything. So, but whatever comes in front of the mind, yes, you are still witnessing it. With a discerning intellect. So discerning intellect does not take you to any form of ego and attachment, and that will help us progress into the higher state of consciousness. Happening versus doing. Doing is absent. Doing is basically an agitated state. So the mind returns. Happening, I'm just aware, happening. Many things happen at the level of 6 neighbors. But the happening will reveal isness. I'm just giving you a hint. Isness. Stage 4. Mentally, you are also singing. Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, be aware of it. Bring your mind on the left hand, be aware of the left hand. Then lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms and stay there for a while. Your eyes are open inside the hands and the palms to know, to gather all your experiences which you had until now in this session, and then bring the hands down. To share our experiences. How are you, Christina Rago?
Thank you. Deep, dark, silent experience. And I noticed that sometimes not believing in peace and happiness is there always. And so.
Yes. It is not there, it is the work of the default mind, and you just say, no, it is there. Let the discerning intellect should come. I have seen it. What exactly we are doing? We just move the mind inside. We did not search for the calmness and peace. It is there. That itself is a great conviction. It's a problem of conviction. We have a conviction, I have a lot of problem in my life. I am a beggar of peace and happiness. Our state is like this. How are you, David and Jay?
Thank you. It was a very, very good meditation. The default mind was present at certain points, and when I really pushed back or pushed away the default mind, this extreme level of peace and joy occurred. And there was a little bit of that going on, but really realized the effects of the default mind entering our life don't allow us to achieve our goals, and how we achieve our goals and peace and happiness is getting rid of. So thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You said, why I froze down, I don't know. Are you listening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. So, it is, yes, default mind will remain there, but that default mind will only act and respond when it is required for survival. At present, it is using all its resources to cause us the anxiety and the problem. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. The meditation was deep. The default mind veils all of the peace and happiness, and it's through the discerning mind that we're able to unveil that and access always the peace and the happiness. And there's nothing to do that with the discerning mind. Then we just that's where the right thoughts, clear perception, right speech, right action happens. Just
beautiful.
Natural.
Yes. That is what happens. That is what is the beautiful explanation. It's a self-explanatory. I need not to say anything. Yes, Brandy.
Thank you. My experience was similar to everyone else's, but what was interesting that came up for me during the meditation is at some point I realized that I gave myself permission to be in peace. That it was kind of like what Christina said about not believing it, or even David, was it just the kind of the default
Yes.
mind bubbling up? At one point I was just like, you know what? You have permission.
Yes.
Enjoy the peace. Experience the peace.
Ah, beautifully said. The default mind will never allow you to be in peace. It says, oh, peace is too far, a little far. Where? Go to the restaurant, eat the food. There is the peace. Oh, talk to the honey. Honey is talking in love and attachment. Yes, there is the peace. Buy the clothes. Have a car. Long list. But the moment you say, no, let me experience, it is here and now. The life changes. I see everyone is freezing, but still we are able to communicate. It's better. Beautifully said. How are you, Dennis? No? Dennis, are you listening to me? Ashok, you are listening to me?